In this week's show, we answer your questions in our AMA. From all things RV related, to stuff about our personal life, to questions about YouTube and what we produce with our production company.
Hi kids, I'm Tony.
And I'm Mike, and that's Gracie Girl, our little Chihuahua pug mix. We are Our RV Sunsets. We are a couple in our late 50s that full-time in a Brinkley Z3100. What do we have for you this week? We have all of your questions. Yes, this is going to be our AMA, Ask Me Anything, or would it be an AUA, Ask Us Anything episode of the show. We asked you all to send in your questions, and you did. We have categorized these into 3 different segments. So the first segment is going to be RV related questions that you had for us. The second section is
Personal.
So questions you had about our personal lives. And then the third one is going to be, we had quite a few questions about YouTube related stuff and video stuff around our video production company. If you stay till the end, we also have some information on our upcoming meetup that's going to be in September. Lastly, I will apologize. There's going to be air conditioner noise in this because it has been brutally hot up here in the Black Hills.
Yeah, they're breaking records in Rapid City. And
Yeah, Rapid like 2 days ago was 112 degrees, which was an all-time high for Rapid City.
They need a warm.
All right, so without further ado, let's get going on the first segment, which is RV related questions. So question number 1 in this segment, are you enjoying staying stationary as much as you were enjoying traveling across the country? For those of you that don't know, we are in the Black Hills for the whole summer. We don't normally do that during the summer. We're usually bouncing around the country. So how about you, Tony? Are you enjoying stationary more than moving?
I wouldn't say more than moving, but I am surprisingly enjoying this.
It's hard to say which one I enjoy more, but I also put this caveat in there, and that is that we are in the Black Hills and there are a ton of things to do up here in the Black Hills. But I also am missing bouncing around and traveling a bit.
Yeah, I do miss the traveling aspect of it, but I'm not missing the seeing new things and discovering things, and because I'm getting that up here in the Black Hills.
And I will add this as well. There is no right or wrong way to RV. Whichever way you want to RV, that's the way you should do it. A lot of people that go into full-time were an example of this. For the first few years, they're bouncing all over the place. After they've seen like the whole country, they decide, well, we're gonna slow down a little bit and go back to some places that we enjoyed and spend more time there. The other thing about staying in one place for so long is that it obviously makes it a little more difficult to get content for you guys. There's only so many hikes we can do before this turns into a hiking channel, or so many bike rides we can do before it turns into a biking channel. So that has been a bit of a challenge.
You know, also I'm working part-time too, so I thought, you know, I'm only working part-time, so I'm working half the week, and I thought the other half we'd be out exploring, but I'm working the first half of the week and I'm recovering the second half of the week.
Yeah, you're finding that you're tired, so tired after doing all the housekeeping.
It's pretty physical. It's pretty physical labor, and I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm now enjoying naps. Anyways,
let's move on to the next question. At this point, how long do you feel like you will continue to full-time RV?
At this moment in time, I have no desire, no inkling, no even maybe thoughts of not RVing.
We really are enjoying this and don't have any plans to stop. The only plan I would say we have is to keep going until this rig falls down around us.
Yeah. And again, it's not just the travel aspect of RVing that I find the most attractive. It's a combination of the traveling that we get to do. It's the combination of living in a smaller space. We talked about it earlier, a lack of consumerism.
We've traded in stuff for experiences, and I think we both have decided that's a type of lifestyle
That's
we want.
kind of what I want to keep going forward with is, you know, more experiences, less stuff.
All right, on to question 3. How do you handle deliveries of medication?
We are only on one medication, And we spoke with our doctor and had them extend it from a monthly subscription to a 3-month subscription. So talk to your doctor about that. If I don't know where we're going to be, I have it sent to my mail service. I use Dakota Post. It's in Sioux Falls. It gets there fairly quickly, and then I just FedEx it overnight to our destination.
Or where we're going to be if we're bouncing.
But for the most part, because of that 3-month, I have plenty of time to get the next subscription where I need it to go.
Yeah. And I can say we only had one issue where our prescriptions ran out and before we got resupplied, and that was because our health insurance
changed prescription providers.
Changed the prescription provider on us and didn't inform us.
Until I went to get the prescription filled, and they went, "Oh, you're no longer covered."
The 3-month prescription thing is bloody brilliant if you can get your doctors to do that.
Prior to that, we just used CVS because there's a CVS everywhere, and then we just transferred the prescription.
That's a good point. If you have CVS, what we did is you can go online to CVS and just transfer the prescription to wherever you're going to be when you need a refill, and then you can just go to that CVS and pick it up. All right, next question. This is kind of related to the last question. Who are you using for a mail service, and is it working well?
Yes, we use Dakota Post in Sioux Falls. When we go through Sioux Falls, we can drive right by there and go get our mail. They'll shred what I don't want. If I'm not sure what it is, they'll open it. Once every couple of months, I'll have them FedEx it to wherever I'm at. Dakota Post will also help you with your vehicle registrations. For us, the other added benefit was Dakota Post helped us with transferring our business from California to South Dakota.
If any others have questions along that kind of stuff, like how do we get our mail, how do we get insurance, things like that. We have a whole, it used to be called a playlist. Now it's called a course. If you look on our home page on YouTube, there's a section for courses. It's like a 10-part series on how to RV, and it covers all kinds of stuff: mail, domicile, insurance, how we do internet, all that stuff. I'll also put a link in the show notes for that playlist. Moving on, what would drive you to think about getting a larger fifth wheel?
Only one thing. Mm-hmm. Winning the lottery. We love the rig that we are in.
Yeah.
We did a lot of research. We did a lot of walkthroughs, and it just fit us. We like the size. It's 35 foot long, which means we can get into smaller spaces. It feels like an apartment. It feels big. I don't want to change my vehicle.
The thing I love the most about our fifth wheel is that it's paid off.
Yeah. That true.
So if we were to upsize to another fifth wheel, we would wind up having the cost of the fifth wheel, which would wind up being a payment on the fifth wheel.
And then have to upgrade the truck.
And probably have to upgrade the truck. Like the only Brinkley model that we've looked at, that's a more recent model that I would say, we would have bought that one had it been available when we purchased, is the 3515, the one that has the back office in it. But again, to do that, we would have to upgrade our truck to a dually.
And we just don't want to. We're really, really, really happy with our setup.
Yeah, so to answer the question, really not anything. We're happy with
very happy.
We're happy with the rig that we have.
Going on 3 years. Very, very happy.
All right, next up, where do you stay in San Diego? For those of you that don't know, we winter in San Diego. That's where we are originally from, and we still have our business there. Where do you stay in San Diego, and what are the pros and cons of that location? So first off, where do we stay?
Sun Outdoors, San Diego Bay.
Quite honestly, we've stayed in just about every RV park in San Diego. Sun Outdoors is the nicest RV park you're going to find in San Diego. So let's go through pros and cons. First, let's start with pros. What's a pro of
It's
this?
a true resort. When they say resort, it's a true resort. It's got a huge swimming pool, heated swimming pool, 2 jacuzzis, one for adults, one for children, a fitness center, a cafe, a bar, a rec center for the kids with all the video games and stuff like that. The staff there is amazing. We do get a good discount because we stay there for several months on end. It can be anywhere from half to a third of the price of staying there nightly.
It's also very centrally located in San Diego. It's about 7 miles from downtown. It's close to a lot of the clients that we have, so it's easier for us to pop in and out.
It's next to the big new Gaylord Resort and the Brandon Park over there.
Yeah.
There's a bike path that goes all around the bay. We're looking forward to that this winter. Lots of pros. It can be expensive if you're going in for a week or just a couple of days.
Let's add that into, let's start doing, so let's do the cons. The cons of staying at Sun Outdoors San Diego Bay. First con, pricing.
It can be expensive.
Yeah, if you're just in there for a couple of days, it could be in the $150 a night and above. So it's expensive.
It's crazy expensive.
The other con is on big weekends, the place can turn into an absolute shit show, for lack of better terms. You get a lot of like families coming in for the weekend, they're partying it up, and a lot of kids on e-bikes and e-motorcycles blasting through.
And
even with those cons, it's still the nicest place that you can stay in San Diego, without a doubt. So that's where we stay. We would recommend it.
That's kind of where we treat ourselves.
Yep. Next question. What do you think you'll do after RV life?
In a pine box with my eyes closed.
Most of you know this. For those that don't, we purchased a house with our son and daughter-in-law. We kind of gave them some money for a down payment on it in Kansas City. So that will be our eventual exit plan.
When we get too old and it gets too painful to do this, we'll settle down in Kansas City and enjoy Midwest life.
I will always be doing something with video. I don't necessarily want to retire from producing stuff. I just want to have the freedom to produce the stuff that I want to produce.
So maybe it's a matter of, traveling in a different style.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's cruises. Maybe it's, there's a lot of senior tours out there. We're always the life of the party. We could just, senior tour party animals.
I will say that I don't think we will ever sell the RV, because even if we come off the road full time, I still want to have the RV available to do part-time trips. All right, let's move on to the next question. What trip have you done that you will avoid? I know exactly what it is for me. It's probably the same for you. No? You don't have one? Branson, Missouri. We just discovered that Branson was really not our kind of place, because Branson, there really wasn't much to do except for expensive shows, expensive drinks, expensive everything. At one point we thought, well, maybe we'll just stop doing like these touristy attraction stuff. We'll rent a pontoon boat and go out on Tabletop Lake. And then we started learning about brain-eating amoebas that are in Tabletop Lake.
Gotta keep healthy. It just wasn't our scene. We prefer the eclectic. We kind of like to make our own adventures and not being force-fed adventures.
Yeah. Now, I think if you're traveling with younger kids, Branson may be a good adventure for you, because there's all kinds of things for younger kids to do. There's a lot of mini golf or putt-putt golf, little adventure parks and stuff to go to. I will tell you though, that when you get there with your kids, you are going to start hemorrhaging cash, and you will keep hemorrhaging cash until you leave.
A very similar experience, Pigeon Forge. It felt like Missouri Branson and Pigeon Forge is that same type of vibe.
Yeah, same type of feel.
How much money can we strip you of as a tourist coming into town?
So last one on RVing, I thought this one was interesting. What type of leaf blower are you using? It looks really small when Tony Tao is on the roof blowing off leaves.
That's because Tony Tao's not very small.
It is not your size that makes the leaf blower look small.
Perspective.
It is a pretty small leaf blower.
That's very light.
We got it from Harbor Freight. It's a Bauer leaf blower, and because it's so small, it's really easy to pack in the RV. It works off the same battery as all of our other Harbor Freight tools do, and it has 3 different settings as far as the intensity of the air that it blows out. And when you put it on the low setting, you can use it to help get that fire started in your campfire.
Right. right? It's a good little blower.
Yeah.
We've had it since we started, and it's been working great.
Yeah, it works great. So I'll put a link for that in the show notes as well. All right, moving on to personal related questions. Question number 1, how did you two meet?
I was 14.
I was 16.
He met my cousin through a mutual friend of ours, and he was hanging out at my cousin's house, sitting on a moped, wearing a hockey jersey, which I thought was kind of cute. I wasn't even allowed to date.
Yeah, I can't say I started dating Tony Tao when she was 14 because her parents wouldn't let her date until she was 15.
He just kind of grew on me. He was.
So it wasn't love at first sight?
I don't think it was love at first sight for you either.
I don't know if there is such a thing as love. I think there's lust at first sight, but I don't think there's love at first sight.
I think it was more of a, this guy makes me laugh. He was also one of the kindest people I had ever met at that point. Our first date was the winter dance, formal dance.
I think I have a picture of that. If I do, I'll put the picture up.
He asked my mother before he even asked me if he could, because I couldn't date. He asked my mother if he could take me to the formal dance, and she said yes. And then from there, we've been inseparable.
And the rest was history, as they say.
Well, we haven't always been inseparable, but we've just been together.
Yeah. We haven't always been inseparable. We did have a moment about 13 years into our marriage where
we went, what the heck?
We were just both, I think, being knuckleheads.
Yeah.
And we separated for a few months, but yeah.
I still think that separation was a good thing because we both had to do some self-evaluating. But at the same time, we did nothing to impact our kids at the time.
Right.
They thought it was bitching because they got 2 Christmases.
Yeah, they refer to that as the year with 2 Christmases.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a backup plan if one of you have health issues? What's the backup plan? It's probably the house in Kansas City.
The house in Kansas City was a big relief when we bought it because it was like, wow, if something happens to either of us and we need to get off the road quickly, we have a place to go. We have the house in Kansas City. Yeah,
in the first couple of years that we were full-timing, that was a concern. I mean, that was one of those little nagging concerns of what happens if one of us gets sick, and we have to come off the road? Where are we going to go? Yeah. And so making the decision to purchase the house in Kansas City alleviated a lot of that stress.
The other thing to keep in mind is if you do have an emergency on the road, any type of emergency, whether it's sickness, whether it's, your vehicle's down, your truck's down, your rig's down, reach out to your neighbors in the park, reach out to the park owner. The vast majority of them will bend over backwards to help you.
Hell, reach out to us because we have a network of friends around the country now.
Or reach out to other YouTubers. They have a network of friends too. I guarantee it.
That I will, and the friends that we have, I will guarantee you will just slide in and help anybody out. They're just lovely, brilliant people.
I just see it over and over and over again in these parks. If you're a nice person, people will bend over backwards to help you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't be afraid to ask other RVers for help. You will find that most RVers, especially full-time RVers, are very, very helpful people. Moving on. Are you from California or born and raised somewhere else and moved to California? Well, me, I'm born and raised native Californian, not native San Diegan. I was born up in the Bay Area in a town called Concord, which is east of San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area. But my dad was a CB in the Navy, and when I was about 4 years old or so, like many people who land in San Diego, he got transferred down to the amphib base on Coronado. And so that's what got me down to San Diego. But again, I was about 4 years old, and so I consider myself a San Diego native. I grew up there. I went to school there. I had a business there. Yeah.
Mine's a little bit different story.
Yours is a little more complicated.
But it's very San Diego-ish, if you think about it. I consider myself a native of San Diego. I was conceived in San Diego. Father was in the military. He got transferred up to Fallon, Nevada while my mom was pregnant. They moved to Fallon, Nevada. They gave birth to me there. but then moved right back to San Diego, and we're at, until their divorce, they were in San Diego.
But then, because of that divorce, you wound up being, we refer to Tony Tao as bi-coastal.
Yep. So my parents got divorced when I was 4, so I spent a lot of winters in San Diego and a lot of summers in Levittown, PA.
Next question. I never see you guys doing separate hobbies. Do you have them on the road? And if so, what are they? For me, it's easy. My hobby is video.
He's passionate about it.
I am just one of those nerds that loves to create video. That's my medium of art. So that's my hobby. Okay, but now let's talk about your hobbies, because you have some very, very cool hobbies.
Okay.
Well, you might not think they're cool, but I think they're cool.
Yeah, I'm a crafty girl.
Tony Tao is a crafty gal.
I had my own craft room at my house, but I have with me in the trailer, because, you have to downsize everything. I do watercolors right now. So I don't quite consider myself an artist yet, but I'm learning, and I'm enjoying learning how to do watercolors. I have a Cricut, so I make stuff, t-shirts, cups. Oftentimes I meet people in parks and I really like them, so I'll make them something just to remember me by. I crochet. When I find time, I do that. I like to keep my hands busy, and I like to do crafts. That's about it.
I will say that Tony Tao threw in there, well, I'm not an artist. She is definitely an artist.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because you're creating art. And for any of you that want to create art, that's the thing you have to remember. The artist part is not about what you create, it's the process of creating.
Okay.
That's my preaching to you about art.
All right.
All right, so that is all of the questions about the personal side of us. We're going to move on to, these are questions that are about our YouTube channel or questions related to the videos and stuff that we produce. The first question I love. This question was, do you guys ever have disagreements during video shooting times?
Not on the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, we don't have that many disagreements on the YouTube stuff. We just kind of have gotten used to just rolling with it and shooting. One piece of advice I'll give you with the YouTube stuff is, while you're recording, don't try to censor yourself. Just say whatever comes to mind, because you're gonna edit it anyways, right? So if it doesn't work, fine, it doesn't work, throw it out. Now that covers the YouTube stuff. But we do have disagreements when we are doing more like corporate video stuff.
Yes.
And part of that is because the stakes are higher. We're working for clients, we're spending their money, all of that kind of stuff. So there's like been times where we're on location, I'm trying to get this beautiful shot, because I'm like the creative guy doing that stuff. Tony is a producer, so she's handling scheduling and budgeting.
And the client.
And the client, she's
managing
massaging the client as we're doing all of this. And there'll be times when I'm trying to get like this perfect, beautiful shot, and producer hat Tony Tao is over in the corner going, dude, we've got like 4 more setups today. You got to keep this thing moving.
Time is money.
Yeah, time is money. And we'll have, we'll butt heads on set. But we've also had the ability to, or have the ability to, when the day wraps and we pack everything up and we're back in the car going home, all of that stuff lives on set, right? And none of it comes home with us.
Yeah.
And I think that was actually a good thing to have when we went into the full-time RV lifestyle as well, always living in such close quarters. And
the stress of travel, setup, and tear down, sometimes you might inappropriately say something to each other, and you can't hold grudges.
No.
You cannot hold grudge in 300 square feet.
No. I often say that being in the video, film, and television industry was the perfect training ground for full-time RVing, because what we do in our day job is we plan a bunch of stuff out, and then we show up on set and things go sideways, and we're problem solving all day long. In a lot of ways, that's full-time RVing. You're constantly trying to fix problems. Something broke, you need to do maintenance, plans changed, weather hit. So it was a really good,
all of that.
It was a really good proving ground for coming into full-time RV life. Next question. What kind of videos do you produce in your production company? We do a lot of corporate video. We do some television, and on the television side, it's commercial spots. We also produce a half-an-hour television special every year for Broadway San Diego, which is the company that brings all of the Broadway plays into San Diego. This year was a really fun job with that because we got to go to New York and film all around Broadway and Times Square. We do nonprofit stuff, education stuff. We also do a little bit of film work. All of the film work we've done has been short film work. That kind of work pays us $0, but we do it for the passion of doing it. And I will link to some of that stuff in the show notes as well. There's a few things that I can link to that were award-winning. Between the two of us, we have 7 regional Emmys for the work that we have done. So I'll link to some of that stuff so you guys can get an idea of the type of work that we do.
And I just want to throw this out there. We're still able to do this even though we're not living in San Diego because we have amazing peers that we work with. They're people that we can rely on to do the stuff that we can't get to or go shoot for us, and Mike can edit.
Because I can edit from anywhere. All that it takes to edit anymore, even to do a television show, is a laptop and hard drives. And so I can edit from anywhere. Next question. Do you use a camera or do you use an iPhone 2? The answer is yes. So our camera setup is we have a DSLR, which is what we're shooting this on, which is a Canon R7. Then we have a couple of GoPros. Here's like the main GoPro that we use. It's a GoPro 12 with a media, what do they call this thing? A media mod, and then the handle that goes with it. The media mod allows us to plug microphones into it. And then we also use, I use an iPhone 15. I need to upgrade this. This thing is getting old.
We both need to upgrade our
phones. We both need to upgrade phones. So those are the camera setups that we use. What do we use them for? This is going to be used for the vast majority of the times we are talking to camera, like walk and talks when we're out in the wild. It's this camera. Most of the B-roll that we shoot gets shot on the DSLR because it's prettier. And then I use the iPhone in situations where it's low light or I just want to be incognito. Because if I'm just walking around filming with this, I'm just some other knucklehead with an iPhone, right? If I'm running around with a DSLR shooting stuff.
Everybody with an iPhone's a knucklehead, stop.
No. What I mean is I'm a tourist, right?
Yes.
I'm just a tourist with an iPhone. I'm not a professional. When you're running around with the DSLR, you're not as inconspicuous. The other thing I'll add, the reason we do a lot of the stand-ups here instead of on the DSLR, the quality is not as good, but YouTube is more in the moment. So with this, I don't have to worry about things like setting my exposure, setting my focus, all of that stuff. With this, I hit the record button and we go. So it's a much more run and gun friendly camera setup. Yes. Oh, one last thing. If you are going to spend money on gear, spend money on audio gear first. Not video gear. Use your phone, but get good microphones because audiences will put up with mediocre video. They will not ever put up with bad sound. If your audio sucks, they're gone. So if you're gonna spend money, think audio gear first. All right, next one.
What film editing software do you recommend for beginners?
Okay, so if you're just starting out on YouTube and you're looking for some type of editing software, it's going to depend on what computer system you're on. If you're on a Mac, I would highly suggest Final Cut Pro. It's what we edit in. It's actually my favorite edit system out there, especially for doing YouTube videos. It's very intuitive. It's fairly easy to learn. If you want something that's free and you're on a Mac, look at iMovie. iMovie is absolutely free, and then later on when you upgrade to Final Cut, all of your iMovie projects can be imported directly into Final Cut. If you're on a PC, and this application works on Mac as well, is DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve, you don't need the paid version. Just download the free version of it. It will work just fine. There is a fairly steep learning curve on Resolve though, so just know that. But that's what I would suggest for if you're on a PC. Next up.
How do you source your music and navigate royalty fees?
Yeah, so music nowadays is so much easier than it used to be. In the old days, we had to have subscriptions to certain production music libraries. Those could run anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 a year. It's not like that anymore. There are tons of libraries out there on the internet that you can pay a yearly subscription for that is not that expensive. And you'll have access to a huge library, all you can eat music. We use Artlist. We also have a Motion Array account, and there's sometimes I'll go to Motion Array and get music. I like the Artlist music better. The other big one that people tend to use for YouTube is Epidemic Sound. All of these libraries have already been cleared on YouTube, so you can use their music and not get takedown notices and copyright claims and all that stuff. I would highly suggest just paying for one of the music subscriptions instead of spending hours and hours and hours trying to find some royalty-free music somewhere on the interwebs. Just pay the yearly subscription and it's there for you to grab.
Editing is a long process and you don't want to spend hours having to, find music and stuff that might get taken down eventually anyway, so yeah.
That's probably one of the most time-consuming things that I do on our videos is trying to find just that right piece of music for whatever scene I'm cutting together. Music is the emotion of every video that you create. The dialogue is the data, but the music is the emotion, and finding that right emotion can be very difficult at times. All right, moving on. What do you think I should know as a beginning content creator? The most important advice I can give you is cut out the boring parts. Like I see a lot of creators, especially new creators, that are walking around doing a campsite review for 20 minutes, just walking around with a camera.
Oh look, there's a bench.
Yeah, nobody's really gonna watch that.
There's a...
Use what's called J cuts and L cuts, right?
Yep. Maybe you could show them an example.
So here's a quick example of J cuts and L cuts. I have some footage on the timeline from our hike up to Mount Roosevelt. Here's one way that you could cut it. It's more of a sequential see it, say it, then see it kind of way of editing it. Here's what it looks like right now. That view just kind of goes on forever.
Yeah, it does.
That's gorgeous.
Wow.
All right, hold on, Tony Tao. You just pointed something out. What?
The higher we came, the more the foliage changed.
Yeah.
So there's aspens up here, but there's all these ferns.
Yeah, there's just a ton of ferns right along the side of the trail.
Really pretty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, very straightforward. We kind of saw this big expansive view that we were talking about. Cut to us, we're talking about, or Tony's talking about the foliage, and then we cut to show the foliage. This whole sequence right now is 46.5 seconds long. So we can tighten everything up by doing J cuts and L cuts. And the J cut and L cut refers to the relationship between the video and the audio and the cut point. So for this cut point, we just have a straight cut point right now. I'm going to create an L cut, and I'm going to do that by rolling just the video forward right to here. I'm going to take a little bit of this video off just to tighten that edit. So if you look at the timeline, let me zoom in a little bit, you can see that there's a distinctive J shape in between these two cuts. Does that make sense? This kind of makes a J, the relationship between the cut, the video, and the audio. So that speeds up this section. Now on the back side, let's create an L cut. I'm going to find out where I want to put that L cut. Let's listen to what we're saying here.
The foliage changed.
Yeah.
So there's aspens up here, but there's all these ferns.
Yeah, there's just a ton of ferns. Maybe right after where Tony says ferns. So now I'm just going to grab this video and I'm going to roll it back to that point. So now we have a cut that is an L shape right here, where we transition from this video to this video, but we're keeping the same audio. So let's take a look at that whole edit now with these J cuts and L cuts. That view just kind of goes on forever.
Yeah, it does.
That's gorgeous.
Wow.
All right, hold on, Tony Tao. You just pointed something out. What?
The higher we came, the more the plant, the foliage changed.
Yeah.
So there's aspens up here, but there's all these ferns.
Yeah, there's just a ton of ferns right along the side of the,
really
the trail.
Really pretty.
Yeah, absolutely. So now not only is it more visually interesting, we also have shortened up that whole sequence from 46.5 seconds down to 32.5 seconds. And the whole thing, I think, just kind of flows a little bit better. So your video kind of flows a little bit better. It's not as staccato for any of you that are musicians out there. It's not like cut, 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 cut. It just flows better.
It's not, what was that TV series? Just the Facts, ma'am.
Oh, you're talking about Dragnet. What Tony is referring to is there's a type of editing known as Dragnet editing. And since most of our viewers are Gen Xers or older, you'll understand this. It's the editing that happened in the 1960s television series Dragnet. In Dragnet, anytime somebody was delivering a line of dialogue, they were on camera.
You talked to her when she made the original report, didn't you, Joe?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
What do you mean?
Well, isn't there something a little off base?
There's no overlapping of visuals and dialogue. There's no reaction shots.
Yeah.
And so it just becomes this very staccato pace.
Very dry.
Yeah, it doesn't flow at all. And it worked, and that was perfect for that show. But yeah, you'll find when it comes to editing is so much just feel. I can't tell you how many times I've sat working on like a film scene, and one frame, one way or the other in an edit can have such a drastic difference in feel. Editing takes time to figure out because you have to develop that feel.
I do have a suggestion.
Yes, go for it.
Just be yourself. One of the biggest compliments we can get is when people meet us in real life, in person, they go, oh my gosh, you're just like you are on your videos.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes people dive in and they're uncomfortable with being themselves. And so they kind of get this persona, but then you're stuck being a persona. Be genuine, and be original. Be original.
Well, I'm not, see, I have a little bit of a thing with the original idea because there is no such thing as originality.
You sure? I mean, yeah.
Everything's derivative of something else.
Okay. When I say be original, I said just be yourself. Be original. Be authentic. Even if you think you're a little weird, go ahead and be a little weird.
Oh yeah. So
be original.
So what Tony's getting at is, look, if you're going to be an RV YouTuber, there's no content out there that's going to be original. If you want to find a video on how to dump a black tank, there's 1,000 of them out there. If you want a video on Grand Prismatic at Yellowstone, there's 1,000 of them out there. So the only thing that is going to differentiate your channel from every other channel out there is your personality, the way you deliver, the way you present yourself. And to Tony's previous statement, just be you. Don't try and create a caricature of you, because now you're going to be locked into that caricature and that's going to get old after a while. So just be you. Be who you are. Okay, so last question on the video YouTube thing. We get
It's
this
my
all the
favorite
time.
question.
Is YouTube profitable? YouTube can be profitable. For us, no. No, it's not. We do this more as a creative release, more as a way to document the things that we've done so that our family can see it, so that we can go back and look at it to remember the places that we've been. We also do it because we like meeting other people in the RV space, and this helps us do that.
It is an introduction.
Yeah, it's definitely an introduction.
But is it profitable? I'm sure you're watching other videos. I know I'm watching other videos where there's people are like subscribers are spending money left and right, and I'm thinking, how the heck?
Oh, not subscribers are spending money. The people on the channel.
People on the channel
Yeah.
are spending money left and right, and to me it's a large amount of money. Their channels are profitable.
Yes.
Our channel is not. I swear to God, I would tell you.
To be completely
Transparent.
on this, so we have, last I checked, about 6,300 subscribers. We are closing in on 900,000 views of all of our content. What we make every month varies because this is a very seasonal niche. In spring, it starts to ramp up because people are going out to buy RVs or they're getting ready to go on their trips, and it peaks around July, and then it starts to drop off. January is the low point, and then come spring, it starts to pick back up again.
Yeah.
So with that said, in the middle of winter, we will make about $150 a month. That's on ad revenue from YouTube. Merch revenue, pretty much non-existent. We don't sell that much merch. And then in the middle of summer, at that peak, we're making anywhere between $200 to $300 a month during that peak.
That doesn't probably pay for our brewery beer.
Yeah, that probably does not cover our brewery
But
tab.
to be fair, other channels, that's their jobs at this point. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all. Good on them. I'm so happy for them because they have turned this into something that's very profitable and lets them live a good lifestyle.
Yes.
Not denying that at all. I'm just saying we also have other jobs. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just not able to or even willing to put in that type of commitment.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I still want to enjoy myself because, being a content creator is sort of a job. It's kind of a part-time job for us.
The other thing that I think has hampered our growth is we just absolutely refuse to be the doom and gloom YouTubers. And you all know what I'm talking about. You go to look at RV videos and 90% of the thumbnails are all about this broke or we're quitting the RV life or there's fires in the RV park or blah, blah, blah. We've had enough negativity in our life, so we're not about doing that kind of stuff just to get views. Unfortunately, it's probably a combination of human nature and the YouTube algorithm. That type of clickbaity stuff and negative stuff, train wreck stuff is highly rewarded, but we're just not going to go there. We refuse to do it.
My daughter was a very positive person and tried to bring joy. And I think that's what we want, is just to try to bring joy. We don't want to be negative and we don't want to be overly judgy and we just don't want that. We just try to be who we are.
Yeah, and this doesn't mean that we're not going to show you negative things that happen in our world while we're living full-time in an RV.
It's good to happen.
Because you need to, if you're going to watch our videos and make the decision based on our experience, whether or not you want to get into full-time RVing, we want to make sure you have all of the information. And that includes hunkering down in an RV, waiting for the tornado sirens to go off, or blowing out a suspension in the middle of Indiana, or any of the other things that we've had happen to us. So we're not going to gloss over it and make everything sunshine and rainbows. There is some challenges in this lifestyle. We're just not going to focus on the negative side of things.
Right.
So that pretty much wraps up the Q&A stuff. I did say at the beginning we were going to talk a little bit about the meetup that we have coming up. It will be on Saturday, September 12th at 3 p.m. We're going to be doing it at Lost Cabin Beer Company.
Did we let them know that?
Yeah, no, Lost Cabin knows. Nicole knows that I've set it up. There's some other event that's going on there too that day, so it's going to be busy and fun and party atmosphere. So it'll be a good time. So Lost Cabin Beer Company, it's the one in Hill City, South Dakota, not the one in Rapid City, because there's two of them. It's the one up in Hill City. We have some other events planned as well around this meetup. We'll be doing a group caravan to drive the Needles Highway. If you have never been on the Needles Highway, this is an absolute must-do. There's little narrow tunnels that you have to go through. It's just an absolutely beautiful drive.
We do it like every couple of weeks because it's so pretty.
Yeah, because it is so gorgeous. We're also planning to do a short hike around Legion Lake. There's a couple of lakes that you can do hikes around. The one in Legion Lake is a little easier than the one at Sylvan Lake, although Sylvan Lake is kind of the iconic lake here in the Black Hills. I want to make sure that everybody can enjoy this hike, and there's a little bit of scrambling over some rocks on Sylvan Lake, so we'll do Legion Lake. We'll also do a short bike excursion here on the Mickelson Trail. There's an absolutely beautiful section of it that goes up towards Crazy Horse. We can take that ride. And then lastly, I'm sure we'll do a potluck dinner and get together here at the RV resort that we're at. And speaking of that RV resort, we are at Bearded Buffalo RV Resort, which is in the town of Custer. There is RV sites available. There's a few cabins here available if you're not bringing your RV up. So I will put a link in the show notes. I'll probably drop a QR code over Tony's face to their site so you can book. Also, if you're not going to be in this area while we're doing the meetup, but you're going to be in the area outside of doing the meetup, let us know. We would love to get together and have a beer with you, go have dinner with you, just hang out at the RV with you. We have been doing that the whole time that we've been here.
We really have.
I mean, here's some of the people that we have hung out with during our time here in the Black Hills. All right, I think that about covers it.
We hope we answered all your questions.
Yeah, and if not, if our answer spurred on another question, feel free to put it in the comments below. All right, well, that's it for this week's video. Tune in next Sunday. We'll have something else. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but we'll have something else for you. Have a great week.